wife, Lisa, I'm sure she's watching, my son, BJ, and our daughter, Lola, who turns the big 5 months tomorrow.
Shit, man, everybody else is live.
I
figured I'd go live too.
They provide, I can't put it into
It don't
words.
It don't hurt.
To put it blatantly, without them, I wouldn't be up here speaking with you guys today. So thank you so much. I'm at North Carolina A&T University, Aggie Pride. My mom, Joan, Dr. Holmes, as many call her. Just so much love and sacrifice in my upbringing, along with my older sister,
and that's
Tara.
Why he got the
and
job.
My mom always preached education relentlessly and always showed strong work ethic, working late nights.
Is this me? Does he kind of sound emotional?
And my dad, Melvin Holmes, who played in the NFL for the Pittsburgh Steelers, but he never really pushed football on me.
Am I tripping? You kind of sound emotional.
He always raised me in a football environment.
What up, though, Benjamin? The motherfucker. What up, though?
Football. So I thought that was really cool and very, very impactful.
Everybody else going live. I forgot to go live too.
Staying on family.
Reaction to
I have to thank
Brad Holmes in his introductory press conference. I'm not gonna talk too much because I'm gonna let him speak.
Just bear with me. It feels very weird to say Luther Bradley because I've called him my Uncle Ruff ever since I was born. Actually, strange because that was grandfather's name, Luther Bradley, and that was his father.
Name.
We didn't even call my grandfather Luther Bradley. We called him Big Daddy. So for me to say Luther Bradley sounds, so if you guys hear me say Uncle Ruff, just know that I'm referencing Luther Bradley. But my Uncle Ruff,
waiting on my royalty check still.
From what? Leader at Notre Dame School of History, first round pick.
Let me get one too.
In '78, and me as a baby and
let me get one too. Be able, come on now.
Many holidays here in Detroit.
Shout out to everybody tapping in from Facebook. If you guys can, man, head over to YouTube. Make sure you hit the subscribe button. And send Benjamin for that royalty check. You already know.
That's when you open my eyes to Lions football. And just the tradition and the history that's deep-rooted that he always had so much pride for and so much obsession for. And he's still active and player alumni and in the community. And I want to thank him for all his support he has provided me throughout this process. I think he's enjoying it more than me, actually, to get this job. And I'm sure he'll tell you that he can cover any USC wide receiver still to this day. That's just how he is. But I want to thank the Los Angeles Rams, Stan Kroenke, Kevin Demoff, Les Snead, Sean McVay, Tony Pastores, and the late Georgia Frontier. You know, I spent 18 years with the Rams and was basically raised in that franchise. Always been a first-class organization and can't
sound kind of emotional. I ain't gonna lie.
They've done for me and my family. Throughout that time with the Rams, I served under a few different GMs. My first one was Charlie Army. He gave me my first shot in scouting, and he taught me the foundation of player evaluation. Billy Devaney. You know, he gave me a shot to job of scouting in the Southeast, and he taught me the importance of having conviction in your beliefs. And Les Snead, can't say enough great things about him. Obviously, had learned under him the longest, and I want to stress the word learn. He taught me so much, but one of the biggest things is he kept teaching me how to keep the main thing. It's football. And he also taught me how to be concise, so I won't rattle off every single thing he taught me.
Shit, sound like you said that.
He invested very heavily in my development, and I'm very grateful for all he's done for me. Thank you. I would be remiss if I didn't thank Wilbert Montgomery. He was the first person to introduce me to Charlie Army. And he just saw a young kid fresh out of college
Charlie Army
had a high passion for football, and we immediately formed a great relationship and just took off ever since. So thank you so much, Wilbert. So many others to thank. You know, I'm not a believer in that phrase self-made, because I think that at any level of success that anybody gets at some point, somebody helped you along the way at some point, no matter how big or small.
I agree.
For those others that haven't received a reply from me, I'm working on the 500 text messages. I will get to them, I promise you, but through all the text messages and through all the calls, I can truly say that, appreciate the love and support through all of it. In terms of the purpose and the vision here, it's not complicated. You know, it'll be through a collaborative approach. We will be complicated. You know, it'll be through a collaborative approach. We will build a winning and inspired culture to serve the best football product to this great city of Detroit so we can compete for championships on a consistent basis. And I stress the word serve. I know the general manager
18
position.
Years. 18
it's
years.
A lot of different responsibilities, but I truly believe that it is a service role. And with that vision,
yes,
anybody
this is a new
been to
GM.
Another introductory conference,
I've
heard it all before. I've heard it before, but I will say this. There will be no ego in this process. There will be no ego in the culture.
Good.
Everything is about the team.
Good.
Bottom line.
Good.
Everything is about the team. We will be extremely collaborative, very intentional, and thorough and diligent in our process to truly earn it. And we will be inspired in our process. We will be aggressively smart, and we will embrace rapid evolution. Through all of this, we will keep laser focused on the main thing, and that's improving football and to serve a championship to the city of Detroit and this passionate fan base. One Pride deserves that.
One Pride.
Thank you so much. And
that's it.
Without any further ado, I'll take any questions.
Oh, you finna end it? Oh, okay.
All right, Mike O'Hara, DetroitLions.com.
Okay, Brad, by the way, I'm 5 blocks from Luther's old house before he moved to the suburbs. Just wondering, what are some of the first things you're going to get down to doing?
And on the 18th birthday, found out a win. His
roster stuff and all that. You know, there's a big decision. People are going to ask you about that, about Matthew Stafford.
Yeah, Mike, that's a great question. So first and foremost, once the head coach is on board, definitely want to make sure that we meet and basically continually to work to get on the same page and be aligned. Obviously, the evaluation of the total roster is extremely important. So, you know, really looking forward to making sure that myself and when the head coach is in place, that we have
me too. So someone ask him. Someone ask him about Stafford.
Very thorough process in the evaluation of the roster and make sure that we're on the same page.
I wonder how much input he had
upcoming phases with free agency
on like the head coaching hire.
Tim Twentyman, DetroitLions.com.
They spoke on that and I missed it. I apologize.
Hey, Brad, good to see you again.
Thanks, Tim.
Hey, what's your opinion on Matthew Stafford and the future of maybe that quarterback position here in Detroit?
Here we go.
Yeah, great question. So Matthew, great player.
Here we go.
And what you really appreciate is, I think the talent level is easy to see, but you'll really appreciate how his intangibles show on film. Just how urgent he plays, how competitive he is, the toughness that he shows. But it is my job to evaluate the entire roster. And through that process, you know, I have not had any discussions with Matt or any players for that matter. So, you know, I just want to be fair to the process and make sure that we evaluate that thoroughly. But, you know, obviously, Matt, very good football player.
And then just one quick follow-up.
Making no promises.
Your use of technology, and I know we talked about it before, but just how you implement that, how important it is to you, and why that's important in the process now.
Yeah. So, Tim, I've always said that technology is truly an accelerator. And I think it's only important, it's very critical to utilize the technology as the accelerator that it truly is. And there's so many different avenues in so many different areas in scouting and personnel where the use and acceleration of technology can be utilized in a very critical way. And it can be even down to just making sure that everybody that's connected, that are even outside of the building, that are on the road, let's make sure that this technology is being utilized properly and efficiently and in the right way to make sure that that's all connected. You know, it goes from the college side to the pro side, the use of analytics.
My bad, guys. I'm not reacting too much right now. I'm just listening.
Process.
And I'm putting a thumbnail on the video too. That's the thing.
That's probably one of the biggest in terms of the use of technology. But definitely there's a lot of different avenues, a lot of different products out there. But something that the Rams utilized heavily that, showed me and opened my eyes to a lot of different things, and very much appreciative of that. And so those are some of the things that I would bring to the Lions.
Definitely.
Justin Rogers, Detroit News.
Brad,
shout out to Game Day Express. He's got a bold plan for the roster.
I've got a couple quick ones for you.
First,
just given the
make sure you guys hit the like and subscribe button. Really appreciate you stepping in with me.
For you to get a supplement to your front office on the pro side, or is your confidence in the pro evaluation strong enough, you think?
Yeah, that's a great question, Justin. Well, first of all, let me say this. One of the great things left with the Rams is everybody had these different roles, different titles. Got your director of college scouting, your director of pro scouting, you got your assistant director of college. But what he did that I thought was very, very critical and really paid dividends is that he treated us all as one group. Basically, he's often referred to us as a basketball team. And if you know Les Snead, that's one of kind of an analogy that he'd make. But he basically had us involved in the decision-making process on both fronts, whether it's pro and college. So that experience alone, really bode well for me. And the other part of your question, Justin, is I think it's very important, and this is what I'll do, is to make sure that it is a blended staff of experience, that is balanced with, people that have pro and college experience. So that's my approach, and that's how I feel in the experience from that.
And I want to quickly ask you about intangibles, because I read the emphasis and importance you put on that in the college evaluation. You just mentioned it in your quick Stafford evaluation. Every guy in a decision-making role is looking for a guy that loves football. What is I guess the technique you've developed in evaluating guys on that intangible level?
Yeah, it's a great question. Very important to me. I think the intangibles are the separator of success at this level. And I think it's very important from my background and my experience up to this point with the Rams. We always made an emphasis
guys,
on
if the audio is really shitty, let me know. I'll turn it down a little bit.
Football players.
It sounds a little muffly in my ears.
You pointed out one thing, Justin, that to me is probably the most important is passion. And that is one intangible piece that I don't have any room for. I don't have any margin for error in. That's one piece is passion for football.
If you guys haven't already, please hit the subscribe button, man. It really mean a lot. We're only 22 away from 1K.
So that's something that.
And then I'll be able to pay my man Benjamin some royalties.
Rod and Sheila during the interview process, is that something that I just won't budge on when it comes to passion for football. So something that we had a lot of success with, or with the Rams had a lot of success, and something that would be an important piece that we'll have here.
Thank you much.
Thank you.
Kyle, Mike, M Live.
Hey, Brad, welcome to Motor City.
Thanks, Kyle. How you doing?
Doing well, man. Doing well. You didn't finish that story, I don't think. Were you offered the PR job with the Lions?
Yeah. So long story that actually came in, was offered the job. I had interviewed with the Rams and was offered both, and had to make the tough choice to select the Rams, but
because they're a better organization,
but I did come in the building with my head down a little bit, making sure that nobody was looking for me. But
how you pick the Rams over the team that
it all worked out.
Your father played for, bro?
Fair enough. One more question for you from me. There's been some debate in Detroit whether this is more of a reboot and get ready to go next year and compete for a championship, or more of a long-term kind of rebuild. I know you're in the early stages of this thing, and you have a lot of hires to make and moving parts before you really get going. But I'm just curious at the outset what your vision is for this team, particularly up front, this year, or do you think it's more of a long-term rebuild?
Yeah, that's good. That's a fair question. So definitely, I think when you get into the offseason, I think every franchise, every team will look at the areas that they might need some, let's say, retooling at, and just areas that need to be addressed. But the ultimate goal is to make sure that the most competitive team is on the field, and that starts right this year in entering the 2021 season.
Ooh,
so
sounds like
not not
Keeping
viewing
Stafford
this
comment.
as, oh, this will be a long term. I don't know how long it's going to take. You know, that's not the approach. That's not the mindset going into it. The approach is to make sure that we can put the most competitive team possible out there on the field in 2021.
Chris Burke, The Athletic.
Ooh, how do you take that as like a Stafford evaluation of like if we're keeping him or not?
How you doing?
I'm doing all right.
Sounds like
thanks.
we might be keeping him, in my opinion.
Kind of a follow-up on that, I guess. I'm just curious, sort of a two-parter. How much of what you've done on this draft class can you carry over into this role? And then just knowing how shortened this schedule is going to be for you and how much of a time crunch you're probably going to be in, is it realistic to implement all the things you want to implement in the next 2 or 3 months? Or is this going to be, by next year, you'll have all the process in place?
Yeah, that's it's funny you asked that, Chris, because I was thinking, I said, can you get every single thing done? And I don't know why that quote, if Rome wasn't built in a day or it wasn't built in a day or whatever, I'm probably going to get some flack for that if I didn't quote that properly. But to the college draft part,
Matthew Stafford did rank 28th in completion percentage. You're correct,
the
Ben.
advantageous part of what my role is and what our process has been with the Rams before I took this job is that
the statement is
I'm very well versed in the college draft for this year's draft class in 2021. So I actually thought that was something that actually helped me coming into it, to have been pretty much have seen a good majority, if not all of the draft class coming up this year. And I do think that because that we're going to have a very dynamic, process-driven approach, I do think that you might not get every single I dotted and T crossed that you really want to have in before the draft, but the intent going into it is make sure that we can get as much ground covered as possible going into it.
Michael Rothstein, ESPN.
Hey, Brad, congratulations.
Thanks, Michael.
Yes, first to congratulate him.
2 questions for you. First, it had been reported that part of what you had sold to Sheila and Rod was a bold plan. I'm just curious to you what the first part of that bold plan is.
Well, I'd say bold plan. I know that let's date back to my time with the Rams. There was a lot of what was deemed as bold moves that I was very fortunate enough to be a part of. And often when those moves occur, you really you want to see the outcome. What was the actual result? I can't say that in respect to my time with the Rams that all those quote unquote bold moves, it was truly a result from what the process was. And so every single thing is going to be process driven in terms of adhere to a very dynamic, sound process. And as, Les Snead says it all the time, you can surrender your results to that process. And so that will be not saying specifically, what the plan will be, but the approach in terms of having a very, very sound process, then you can get some bold results coming from that.
And then my second question is, to get to that point, what changes do you feel you need to make right away to accelerate this process?
I think I would go back to sticking to the process that I do have planned and the process that I will have in place. There's really not one specific item or area that's like it has to be changed right now. I just have a lot of confidence in the plan and the process that we'll have in place. And so if we stay disciplined in that approach to that process, then we should get the necessary results that we desire.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Larry Lage, Associated Press.
Hey, Brad, first of all, I like your haircut.
Great minds think alike, Larry.
That's right. Did any other team reach out to interview you for a GM job this offseason, or have they ever in the past? And when you were a PR intern, did you ever dream of
a lot of people here
like this
were speaking on him as like a hot candidate around the league, like the hottest take for college scouting?
If I had any other team, so this was my first interview circuit, if you could classified as that. But I did have two teams that I did interview with, both here in Detroit and the Falcons. But, you know, the pinch me moment probably did come exactly when I came in the building for my second interview. Because again, like I said in the opening, I've not been in this building since I interviewed for that PR internship. And that's when I just
hitting him with the
walking
facts.
in here then was like 18, almost 19 years ago. And then coming back here now as the general manager, that was definitely, if you would, I like the way you put it, a pinch me moment where it really just sunk in of like the wow. And it's just, it really was a surreal feeling and couldn't be more excited about it.
Was this ever?
What up, though, Philly?
I mean, when you
we are
started
live,
working in
baby.
the NFL, did you say like someday I want to be a general manager of one of these teams, or what was your goal?
Yeah, so great question. Back in I say the eighth grade, I actually I was in junior high school, and my parents kind of lived close to the school, and I'll put it frankly, I skipped school to watch the draft.
Oh,
and
shit.
I knew the draft was coming on TV.
We got a piece of shit.
And it was the 93 draft.
We got a piece of shit for team president.
I knew it was coming on ESPN. I skipped school and I went home when my parents were at work and watched the draft. And that moment, I just got enamored with the process of scouting. That's when I fell in love with scouting. They were talking about, I remember they were showing
scouting,
just running the ball, and they're describing the traits and showing the highlights, and they're showing the general manager, they're showing the coach. I just fell in love with the process up until then. And I always told myself back then that regardless of what happens, I want to say it was like even my senior year of high school, I was watching the 97 draft. And me and my buddy, we were sitting at a fast food McDonald's restaurant and just having some cheeseburgers. And I said, we had just got done watching the draft. And I said, I don't know what's going to happen with my football career. I knew I was going to college to play football, but I knew that I was going to definitely get into scouting at some point. And just the GM job specifically, you know, when I got into scouting, I never really looked ahead. I was just so happy to be in the industry of scouting, is that when I was a scouting assistant, I just wanted to be the best scouting assistant. And when I was an area scout, I just wanted to be the area scout. And all the way until, you know, obviously being in the director of college scouting role, I was truly just trying to be the best college director in the entire league. And so obviously when I kind of was learning about, you know, potential opportunities, you know,
Stafford was ranked 29th in accurate passes out of a clean pocket, according to
preparing and
PFF.
all that. And that actually felt
only ahead of
to me
Wentz, Darnold, and Mitch.
I was always so laser focused on what my job was at hand, never looking ahead. And I really just wanted to dominate my role that I was in.
Food back then.
To answer your question, I know it's kind of a, you know, branched off answer, but I really didn't say back then that I want to be a general manager. I fell in love with scouting. And then as I worked my way up, I just focused on dominating my role at every step.
Corey Woods, Woodward.
It's kind of crazy. You only had my man, Corey. What up, though, Corey? Oh, no.
Hey, Brad, how you doing? Welcome to the trade.
Thanks, Corey. How you doing?
Pretty good. Sorry about that. I had a question. So the discrepancy between Pro Bowlers, all pro athletes of the Rams and the Lions is pretty large. What will be your approach of bringing that type of talent to the trade?
Yeah, that's a great question, Corey. So you start with what I was saying earlier about, you know, how important the intangible aspect is. And, you know, we always talk about, you know, let's invest in reliability and let's invest in reliable players. And obviously, we're not overlooking talent. A baseline of talent is very necessary.
I missed that whole question.
We're not overlooking talent. A baseline of talent is very necessary. It is the NFL.
I missed the entire question.
I truly believe that the separator of success is those players that do have those high intangible traits. And so that's a model that was used with the Rams that obviously bode for a lot of draft success. And, you know, that same approach will definitely be carried over here with the Lions.
John Macaroon, SI.
Brad, congratulations. Welcome to Detroit.
Thank you, John. How you doing?
Welcome to Detroit.
Well. I do have two questions for you. You did bring up Detroit's large and passionate fan base, but I'm wondering, there's also a growing and large portion of the fan base that's becoming more skeptical regarding Detroit's opportunities to get back to the postseason.
Me?
What message do you have?
They're talking about me.
Who are skeptical
He must
in
have
the
watched my
process
video.
regarding Detroit's history since the organization has only had one playoff win in decades?
Yeah, and when you say process in terms of the player personnel, player acquisition process, or
the process of building this organization to where it needs to go.
Well, I would definitely tell all Lions fans, just as you say process, I'd say let's all trust the process that's going to be in place. It will be a very sound
some people
process.
know
It'll be a very thorough and diligent process. And we're going to, like I said,
we're
going to surrender those results
to St. Clair
the
Shores.
process. And I've always been one that likes to go through the process, but tries to delay my intuition towards the end.
Not a Lions fan,
if
but
we keep the process sound,
only the Lions.
And then we make the right gut intuitive.
I don't know shit about American football, but let's fucking go Giants. I believe that you're wild, bro.
Fan base are going to be very, very happy with the results that they see. I'm so excited about how passionate, my Uncle Ruff, Luther, he used to always educate me, and all the way up through this process and the interview process about this Lions fan base. And he says that, they've been through ups, they've been through downs, but they're showing up every
nothing but down.
And when he told me that, I was so excited. He just kept getting me even more excited. I said, wow, if we can deliver a winner here to this great city of Detroit, because the thing about not only passionate fan base, but you always hear Detroit as, blue collar, working class, but the more intel that I gathered on this great city is that it just seems like a city of character that just has great character. And so on top of those other great things, I think that characteristic of having great character is something that I really, really am excited about.
Yeah, my second question, if you recall, in 2017, Sean McVay got the process off pretty well in his first season, went 11-5 after a 4-win season. What lesson from that season can you potentially pass on to Detroit's first-year head coach to maybe get the ball rolling a little bit faster?
Yeah, so that's a great question. When Sean first came on board in 2017, I'm sure as you probably have heard, the theme was "We, Not Me," and that really permeated through the entire organization. And it was such a collaborative approach with everybody involved. And it wasn't just coaching and scouting. It was
coaching, he had anything to do with the process of hiring Sean McVay?
Development, athletic performance.
Probably not because he's a scout, but I'd like to have known that a little bit, though.
That truly was a big, let's say, a big ingredient for the recipe of success that we had. And
I guess he didn't hire either, though. That kind of sucks for him, man.
All right, we have time for 5 minutes.
He may be married to this coach and Dan Campbell, and it wasn't even his pick.
Mike Stone, 97.
All right, rough.
How you doing, Brad? Congratulations. First of all, it's okay to use rebuild in this city. The fans are used to it. Our other 3 teams are all going through rebuilds. It's okay. That being said, how do you rebuild the defense? Because as you know, it was pretty poor especially last year. Is it the talent or is it the scheme, or because that defense was horrific?
Yeah, well, please don't get mad at me, Mike, if I don't use the word rebuild, if I just continue to pivot towards retool. But we got Luke at GM. There are some building blocks on this defense currently. Obviously, we will address that side of the ball just like we'll address the offensive side of the ball. There's no area that we won't work to improve in. But I do think that there are some good, young, talented pieces that are still in their phase of developing.
Benjamin Foe comments, he says, he's a real good slick talker. He never gives a straight-up answer. Just brings up nostalgia to persuade you to believe him. Kind of like a car salesman.
In some areas, but there are some building blocks there.
Carlos Menares, Detroit Free Press.
I can agree with that.
Yeah, Brad, having worked primarily outside of the how do you go about, or what gives you the confidence to build a culture within the building, with players, with the staff, with everybody?
A great question. So, when I started with the Rams in St. Louis, I was inside that building for close to a decade. And within that time, I was able to learn how everything works. Was able to learn how the pro side worked, how the college side worked, how the football operations work. I was very fortunate within my role, especially at the early stages, is I did a lot of work with the coaching staff. And
if anyone's just tapping in,
I really got a very
he
good
made no commitment to Matthew
appreciation and
Stafford.
understanding of how everything
But he also said that he
operated
wants to be competitive as soon as possible.
Even since
that's
the
his
team
goal.
relocated to LA,
Let's take
and
that
I
however you
was in
want in
Atlanta,
terms of
I spent
Matthew Stafford's future here in Detroit.
extraordinarily long amounts of time in LA, all the way to the point where I almost qualified for residency out there in California, and it really critical times too, long amount of times as we ramped up for season play, long amount of times as we're getting ready for free agency in that building for long extended amounts of times as we're getting ready for the combine, and then obviously through the entire draft process. So that's the part that I feel very confident in terms of my experience that I've spent inside the building, both not only in St. Louis, but also in Los Angeles.
Jamie Edmonds, WDIV.
I wasn't expecting to go now, so nice to meet you. Welcome to
Nice
Detroit.
to meet you, Jamie. Thank you.
I am on
I
PS4.
wanted to ask you about
Gross ass
there
motherfucker, I
aren't
guess.
very much, there's not a lot of diversity within the NFL front offices. Detroit has had Martin Mayhew and now yourself, and that is something very positive for this organization in my point of view. What do you think of that?
Well, that's a great question. Glad you asked it, and it's something that's very
That's
important
right.
to
She
me.
like BBC them.
I'll take you back to, like I was saying, that my dad played for the Pittsburgh Steelers, and he was an offensive lineman. And it was in the late 60s,
So
early
why do you mean
70s, where he shared with me, even at a young age, when he got done playing, obviously, was that he shared with me the experiences of his struggles that he had to go through in different, let's say, stereotypes regarding race because he was a black offensive lineman. And he told me about, he kind of related it to offensive linemen or quarterbacks. He says, when I was playing, people didn't think that, black should be on the offensive line or at the QQB position. And then even up to right before I got married, we had to go through this premarital counseling through my wife's church. And they told us to make vision boards. And I'd never heard what a vision board was ever. So they explained it to me, and me and my wife had to make one. And part of my vision board was a cutout of Ozzie Newsome hoisting the Super Bowl trophy. And that was a symbolism of hope for me at the time, to see someone like Ozzie Newsome, a successful black GM, to host up a Lombardi trophy. And I'll even take it a step further as, I am a proud HBCU alum, graduate of North Carolina A&T State University. And coming from a historically black college and university that's deep rooted within myself and my family, I take a lot of pride in that, in terms of when I cut out that picture of Ozzie Newsome hosting up that trophy, I thought of when I was able to get this role. I said, well, I hope that I can be that same symbolism of hope for younger kids, black and brown kids, that can look up to people like myself, look up to people like Chris Greer, look up to people like Andrew Berry that are in these roles to provide hope. And the other thing I would say on that I think is very important is that it's often looked at lack of diversity at the GM level. But one thing that I've always looked at is we need to continually to put more effort and to improve the diversity right up under the GM level. So when I look across the league, I see that there's less than 10 people of color that are at the director of college scouting role. There's less than 10 in the league that are at the, if you want to call it the assistant GM role or whatever that number 2 position is. So to add more diversity to those levels to make the pipeline even stronger,
Philadelphia Eagles
I think
fan.
it will be definitely a step forward. But I can't say that I'm very much appreciative that Michelle Ford Hamp and Rod Wood, that they opened up their search to a diverse field of candidates. And I'm very, very excited, and I'm very, very appreciative to be in this role now.
Bob Winowski, Detroit News.
That Wojo?
How are you, Brad? Good to meet you.
Oh my God, I hate this guy's voice,
How you
bro.
doing?
I can't help it.
Thank you.
It drives me crazy, man.
Your head coach yet?
Cannot stand Wojo's
I wonder,
voice.
vision-wise, when you envision what the team you're going to put together and the coach you have.
Hey, Brad.
What tenets
It's
that you're looking
Wojo.
for? What qualities?
You want to know a great
people
spot
wonder,
for cookies?
You're going to build an offense. You're going to build a defense. I know you're going to build everything, but what do you want out of your head coach, and what do you want when your team
It's
and
cold
coach
as
are
hell
put
in my
together?
basement. No, I ain't lying to you. God damn.
Yes, that's a great question, Bob,
Woo!
because, I've always
I got a bald head.
And I've always had in my mind when I looked at a head coach, I never had a preference of he's got to be an offensive coach. He's got to be a defensive coach. He's got to run this system. He's got to run that system. My number 1 core traits was, first of all, he's got to be a leader of men. He's got to be a leader of men. He's got to have presence. And within that presence, he's got to have poise. He had to have confidence. He has to have command. And he has to have mental toughness. He has to have intelligence. And I stress the mental toughness part because there will be ups and downs where that stress tolerance has to be at the right level and to be able to persevere through those moments. So those are some of the tenets. A strong passion to develop. I just know that we'll be aggressive through all avenues of player acquisition, but let's just be honest. I come from the college draft background, and I look forward to building this team through the draft. And so if it is a young
English,
team,
you talk like this all the time.
the head coach has a strong passion with his assistants.
I feel like if you came here
to develop players,
and you spoke in this accent.
All right. Last question, Michael Stats, WJR.
How you doing, Brad? Congrats on getting the job.
Hey, Michael, thank you.
Then he's from London.
I just wonder if you could kind of walk me through like your first steps, initial steps.
Lenny, what's the difference between London
the roster
and
and
Britain?
the first steps you move?
What was the difference there?
The draft not too far away.
Yeah, that's a great question. So initially, immediately, once the head coach is on board, I want to make sure that we sit down and make sure that I am in direct alignment in full understanding of what his philosophy is and what his vision is.
Porsche-like.
I've always had this question of
London is in Britain. Great Britain is a collection of countries, right?
I can tell you what I wanted to look like, but truly it is the head coach's vision. He's the face of the team.
Oh yeah, London's a town.
So
England and Britain. Is that what I'm thinking of?
Service role as a GM, I want to make sure that I'm providing
what's the capital of England,
coach and aiding him with the best.
All right, so what's Britain? Britain and England are the same thing, right?
System and philosophy is running at an elite level.
I don't know why I never assume Brits have a deep voice when I do my accent. It's always like this. But I guess I could try to talk like this a bit more. And the people who are watching are probably like, what the fuck's going on?
Free agency and what those plans are, and to make sure that we're bringing in players that truly fit. I never forget when Sean came in 2017 with the Rams, is that, we signed Robert Woods and Andrew Whitworth, and, they might not have been, I'm not sure if you want to deem it the popular names, but they were fits. They were, culture fits. They were schematic fits. So, that's a good intentional approach and model that, I can definitely take and follow as I embark on this journey with the Lions. And, just for that relationship, I always said that it has to be tight as family. So me and the head coach, we have to be, I'm sure you heard, aligned at the hip in lockstep. But I truly think tight as family is very important, because there might be times where you might not see eye to eye, but when you're tight as family, you can work through those things and come to a winning solution.
Appreciate it, Brad. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Brad. Thank you, everyone.
Thanks, guys. One pride.
You love shouting that shit out, huh? Motherfucker. Well, shit, y'all. That is the Lions introductory press conference of Brad Holmes, our new general manager. Takeaways, not much. He looks tall. You know what I'm saying? I can tell you that. No, but takeaways, honestly, I didn't make a for sure commitment to Stafford. However, he did say, he's got a bold plan. And he also said he wants to be competitive right away. So maybe that means they're keeping him. I don't know. I don't think we're going to get an answer in that press conference either anyway. I think it's something he has to discuss back and forth with my man, Dan Campbell. Guys, I'm tired as fuck, man. Oh, shit. Still got people hopping in. If you guys are hopping in, I'm sorry you missed the press conference. I'll download this and post this so you can run it back if you guys want to listen to it. Or obviously you guys can go and do what you got to do unless you're a wannabe American. I don't know where Jerry's. It ain't safe. It ain't safe. Well, shit, y'all. I'm finna find some chapstick. You know what I'm saying? I still got 10 people in the motherfucking building. What up, though? Guys, you know what? I did want to speak on something. Dan Campbell, man. Let's see. 187, the new breed. I'm open to how he does, though, with this team. I'm open too, man. You have to be open. We really have no choice. We're gonna root for him. He's in charge of our team. We're gonna want him to do really well. As far as takeaways from the press conference itself, though, man, I really have no true takeaway. It sounded like he didn't actually make the commitment to Stafford, which I'm definitely cool with. Do what we got to do to be competitive. My man Benjamin Foe earlier stated he posted some interesting stats, man, that not a lot of people want to hear or see. And let me find it real quick, too, because it was a lot way earlier. Matthew Stafford ranked 29th in accurate passes out of a clean pocket, according to PFF. And not only that, though, he ranked 28th in completion percentage. Not great things you see out of our current starting quarterback. Not saying he's bad or terrible or anything like that. I'm not blaming him for everything solely, but it sounds like the new general manager Brad Holmes may be open to what keeps us competitive. I just hope that in his mind, what keeps us competitive isn't paying an aging, mediocre quarterback over $20 million a year. Especially when you have to build to the draft and we only have 5 draft picks. I'm cool if we trade him this year. I'm cool if we keep him this year. Just as long as we get a quarterback, and I'm hoping in the first round, man. I'm really hoping in the first round. I'm really excited to see what this guy does in the draft. I've been real on the fact of people want to give him credit for all these Pro Bowlers, but I think people are neglecting the fact that the pieces they brought in to surround those guys with. Because when you're Aaron Rodgers or when you're a Green Bay Packer offensive lineman and Aaron Rodgers is your quarterback, you're more likely to go to the Pro Bowl. You look a lot better. Aaron Rodgers is back there for you. Same thing with receivers, man. We see it all the time. Guys have excellent years, and they're either good at one place and they go somewhere else and get worse, or they're bad. Like Kyle Van Noy, for instance, with the Detroit Lions, he was considered a bust. He was a second-round pick, I believe, and then he went to the Patriots, and he became one of the highest-paid linebackers in the league. With the Rams situation, everyone wants to say this guy drafted Pro Bowlers. Well, guess what? They also signed Ndamukong Suh. They traded for Marcus Peters. They traded for Aqib Talib. You know what I'm saying? Some of those guys that they drafted, and I get late rounds or not, they're going to look a lot better than they would have without those guys around them. Dante Fowler. I bring this up all the time, and I'm sorry if I sound like a broken record, but I just want people to know and be wary of that. But with that said, man, I'm always going to root. I'm always going to root for my Lions. I'm always going to hope for the best. Hopefully we don't try to copycat other teams like the Pats. They did come out with something earlier this week. I believe that they want to get some teams. They copy the Rams, build structurally the way they did. I didn't read that whole article though, guys. I'm not gonna lie to you. To completely get into that one, but it's a copycat league, man. I could have swore I screen recorded some stuff to put on here for you guys, but I guess I didn't. if you guys want to, I can get something here posted here. Ian Rappaport speaking on Dan Campbell as a head coach on the Pat McAfee show. I'll see if I get that on while I'm live. If not, I just may make a video of it myself. Always root for the Lions, even if Stafford is here. That's facts, man. You have to. And don't get me wrong, man. Stafford's giving us some moments of what looked to be greatness at times, but shit, dog. We finna find out, fam. We finna find out. You know. I'm reading something real quick. I apologize, guys, for the moment of silence. Bro, I've been losing subscribers every time I do MMA content, man. Y'all just fuck with it, huh? That's all right. I'll fuck with it. Dante D. Trey Stafford has nothing to do with his ability, but only way the organization can rebuild or reload. It's not the only way because I really don't know what we get back from him. But you know what? Actually, I don't want to say the only way, but that's definitely I feel like it'd be a key piece because if we get more draft capital for him, and this is a guy supposedly supposed to be a great draft college scouting player or college scout, grad drafting pieces, then yeah, let's get some draft capital for Matthew Stafford. I'm cool to eat the $19 million if what we get back is worth it. I'm going back and forth with that, but we gotta do what we gotta do, man. I feel like if we're truly trying to usher in a new era, it may be best with Stafford absent and gone. That way, it could actually be new. Because with him, that's not the case. But it is what it is, man. It's so crazy too, man. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. It ain't even the whole 2020 season ain't even over. And I'm still I'm kind of already drinking the Kool-Aid on Dan Campbell a little bit, though. I'm hoping we see something from him. I see we're high in the Saints. Can Stafford actually teach a young quarterback if we draft one? That's a really good question. I don't know. Because he's not really a cerebral player. Sure, he may have tips to give, that other people don't have and whatnot, but he's not really a cerebral guy on the field calling shots and calling audibles and whatnot. He's kind of just a gunslinger, I guess. Sorry if it's disrespectful to say, but it is what it is, right? What value does he have to teach a young quarterback, other than basic little stuff as a starter, or even just that's a very good question. I don't think there's much value that Stafford could teach because he's not, like I said, a cerebral guy out there on the field, not calling a lot of audibles and whatnot. We should have traded Stafford years ago for his and our sake. We wasted that man's prime and lost our chance to rebuild after Calvin left. I mean, we were still straight, though, after Calvin left. If you guys think back to that Cowboys game, I don't think Calvin was in the team back then. I think that was I think that was first year without him. Allen and Baker were in the playoffs, getting paid peanuts. Easier to build a team around them. 1,000%, man. It's easier to build it because you can fill other pieces, and that's what I'm saying. I don't want to pay an aging quarterback. Now, the only thing that sucks is this certain scenario is we're gonna pay that $19 million regardless. Hey, speak easy. You speaking the truth, though. I respect that. Hey, I appreciate that. 187, the new breed. Please make sure you hit the subscribe button, man, like button. And you guys are always welcome to tap in too, man. I'll shoot the link down in the comments below if you guys want to come and speak your mind, what you guys saw at the press conference. But yeah, I don't know what to expect. I'm really looking forward to Dan Campbell's press conference. That's the one I'm most excited for. It is really hard to gauge GMs because we're not as familiar with them or can look up stats and whatnot and know what they're exactly, hands-on in their lesser roles or the previous roles. But with coaches, you somewhat can. We had a couple playoff years after, but we would have been better off tanking in the long run. You can't tank in football, man. Well, you know what? Eagles kind of proved your boy wrong. Okay, I guess you can. But even then, they're still trying, right? But the team itself, the coach, the organization, that's who tanks. But the players themselves, you ain't gonna tank in football, bro. Some guys can't even take a knee at the goal line to win a game. They want to score that touchdown. But I won't say that. I don't think that we should have ever tanked, but we should have drafted a quarterback at some point. Someone to groom and breed into this next generation, or to put a fucking fire in Stafford's ass to want him to. Not obviously the guy wants to perform well, but put a fire under his ass to perform well. You know what I'm saying? He's gonna do whatever the fuck he wants if there's no one in the game to They could throw in after him. Or for when he fucks up, I just hope we keep both Marvin Jones and Kenny G. I'll tell you what, 187, that's not happening. You get that out of your head right now, man. We can't afford to. Another reason why, you need guys like, and where's Benjamin Foe's comment? Josh Allen and Baker Mayfield on rookie deals. Then you could do that. You know what I'm saying? But we just can't afford him, and to build a team and sign back all our free agents, man. The Fords don't like playing black players. They don't like paying anybody. Stafford's really the only one. Calvin got paid the biggest contract, but when he left, they're like, yeah, we want to keep that $1 million, whatever. Speaking of Calvin, I know he was recently on a podcast. I think it's Football and Flow, the Football and Flow podcast. It's one of the NFL Network podcasts, and he spoke on his, being disgruntled with the Lions organization and owing money back and whatnot. That shit's just crazy, bro. Because to the Fords, man, it's fucking like they wiped their ass with that money. So for you guys to fucking be so petty about a small amount of team, bro. Man, Taylor bum ass Decker got paid. He ain't that big, but yeah. Wow, that's cold, but true. I don't know if you're speaking on Benjamin Foles. Yeah, I'm trying to think. We haven't really had the good guys to pay though, too. Calvin got paid. Stafford's white, he got paid. I don't know. I don't like getting that stuff, but we hired a black GM, so maybe I don't know if that's you know what I'm saying. I don't know. I can't really speak on that in the Fords. I don't like that's an ugly topic. I ain't trying to get into that. But as far as today's press conference, I want to know how you guys feel, or everybody who was there for listening. Do you think we're gonna keep Stafford after listening to that? Do you think it's something that's not even on the table yet until Dan Campbell gets there? My man Lenny from MMA Unhinged in the motherfucking building. What up, though, mate?
Oh, hello. What's happening? You good?
What's up, man?
You good? How are you? Can you hear me? Yep.
Yeah, I can hear you.
I had to do my hair before I come on. Us British boys have got to look pretty.
Yeah, me too, man. I do my hair.
Yeah.
What's happening? You good? Yeah, man. You hopped in to talk some American football or what?
Yeah, man. Up the Giants. Let's go, Giants.
Let's go, Giants.
I don't know. Yeah.
Yo, so how do you even become I feel bad, bro. People are coming in for football. You know shit about it, but we'll do it. I believe the NFL doesn't like the Firestone family because of their plantation history. Damn, I didn't even know that was a thing. It's easy. Speak easy, baby. AJG in the motherfucking building. Lenny, man. Why do you like the Giants? Let's get down.
I don't know. Did someone huge? Oh my god, you're probably absolutely face palming right now. But did someone big quite play for the Giants? And that's why I went to the Giants. Every time I played NFL, I don't know why I would just go towards the Giants. I feel like they might have won the Super Bowl one year, and then I kind of watched. I feel like I've watched them play in the Super Bowl one year, and I was like, I want to go to them. So yeah.
I ain't mad at it. Hey,
and same as NBA. I watched Chicago Bulls play, and then I just chose them.
Yeah, they haven't been good in a long ass time though. When that Derrick Rose there straight.
Mm-hmm.
Trying to think any time after then.
Oh, you make me want to get NFL now. I might get NFL on the PS4 now just to have a blast.
If you want to get Madden, we'll hop on the Twitch and we get it going.
Dude, that would be awful. I don't know the fuck I'm doing on that game.
We'll tell you it'll be awful, but I'll teach you, and then after that, we'll do FIFA because I've never played FIFA a day in my life.
Woo! I'll whip you. I'll whip you on that.
I promise you'll whip me.
Hey, on my mum's life. On my mum's life.
Oh man, don't put your mom on it, man. Come on now.
Hey, Lenny. She's getting old anyway. She's getting old.
What time is it there right now?
It's currently 10:30 at night.
It's 10 o'clock at night right now?
Yeah.
Damn.
She's getting on.
I'm probably, you know what I'm about to do? I'm gonna end this broadcast because people are clicking on it for Lions talk, and you definitely don't know shit about Lions and football. But if you want, I will start a new one. No, you're good. You're good, man. I put the link down. I told people to join. But if you want, we can start a new one and we can talk some MMA a little bit, or if you want to do another day.
Cool. Yeah, let's do it. Let's hop on. Let's go.
I bet. I'm gonna end this one. I'm gonna start a new one, and then I'll send it to you on Instagram or something like that.
Yeah, word. That's American, isn't it? Word. Yeah, fucking word, Dan. Fuck yeah.
Let's hear your American accent real quick.
Oh, fuck. Fuck, man. I need some Cheetos and, I don't know, man. Oh, good. I'm going to try and do the Joey Buckley. His accent is incredible. I love his accent. He's like proper, like, I don't know where he's from, but it's like his accent's sick.
Who? Joaquin Buckley?
Yeah, Joaquin Buckley. His accent's so good, man.
Dude, his English accent or his American accent?
His American accent.
He's different, man. Because I be listening to him sometimes because he trains here in Michigan. He'll have like a interview, like a media accent, and then he'll have like how he talks.
Yeah, I don't know. The way he talks, I don't know. It's proper, like, I don't know. It just reminds me of something. It's like proper sick.
He is slick. You know what? Benjamin Foe told me to look this up. I'm about to look it up right now. I'll do it while you're here.
He's from Alabama.
Joaquin Buckley?
Alabama. That was quite good. Alabama.
I thought Joaquin Buckley was from St. Louis. I thought. I'm about to look up this Firestone plantation.
I'm looking up as well. Oh wait, and I was looking at Joaquin Buckley.
You know what though? I will say though,
he's from St. Louis.
Yeah, St. Louis.
I don't know where that is, but Mississippi.
Firestone plantation, Africa. The Firestone's married into the Fords though. Benjamin Foe. Firestone is Martha's family, and then Ford, obviously, I'm saying William Clay and all that good stuff, eh? Firestone and the Warlord. There's a bunch of stuff on this, huh? Which one should I click on though? Which one for 2014? My bad, Lenny.
Yo.
Hey, so I'm gonna do the new broadcast for the MMA stuff.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, cool.
Real quick before we go, can I get you to yell one pride real quick?
One pride.
There you go. That's what I'm talking about.
Is that it? Do you want me to do more energy?
Yeah, let's do one more.
All
Why
right.
not?
You ready?
Yeah.
One pride, baby.
All right, bet. I'm about to start a new stream.
My whole family is asleep.
Oh fuck! You about to
Look
get
at
in trouble,
kick
mate.
my ass.
All right, I'm about to start a new stream. I'm gonna send you a link.
Cool.
All right.